Welcome back to Simulator Sundays. Currently 103, actually 104 here in SoCal. Not too bad for September, beginning of September. So we're going to celebrate. We're going inland a little bit. Down closer to Orange County in La Mirada here. Going to be running the R-CAL0081 local out of La Mirada. There's 4 locals that run out of here. We're going to be following the maps and the information that's available from the depotserver.com is your resource for all things Run 8. Those guys have done a great job in keeping everything together and documenting everything for the entire community. The depotserver.com. We're going to pull that up here as I usually do in the map here. So if I were to drag it down, let's see, I can't do it that way. Can I do it that way? No, it doesn't work that way. So the browser window I have to pull it down, but it's the depotserver.com. And when you first get there, you have a couple things to choose from. Basically, I went to maps there to bring up San Bernardino, but now I'm in reference and in the yard and customer tags right here. You go there, we're in SoCal, and then we're going to sort by local. We're going to look for the one that we're running. There's the R-CAL. So these are all La Miradas, but we're looking specifically for the 81. So you click on any one of those and it's going to sort them for you. Tells you where on the map everything is, as well as the mileposts and so forth, but alphabetical order for the industries there. We're going to use this map though as well. So we'll be going back and forth. We do have to run a little down the main line. We're going to be starting off here in the yard. So if I start right here, so we're actually on this lead out of the Y and L, headed out towards the main line here. We have some, we've got to go get cars that are already deployed. They're ready to be picked up before we could, let me see, what do I do? Put on the milepost tags. I have to do this so I can fly. I can see, I can fly. I'd say I was going blind. So over here we got cars that are ready to be taken out to the industries. Quite a bit of them, but there's stuff there, so we're gonna have to go get those first. So we gotta come over right across on this side. See, there are cars there as well. The very last industry that we have to go to, I'm gonna get there first, and then I'm gonna verify it. We've got to get those cars from there. I believe we take a look at here. This is BPC. If I look at the industries here real quick, the BPC is right here. DMF is also there. Let's see if there's anything else down here. I think that is the end of them, yeah, because everything else is going to be Los Nitos. Los Nitos. So we'll come on the lead right here. We can actually make our way over to this signal. Oh no, we got stuff back there. Flying back over here. What's our approach? How are we going to do this? We come out the yard. We get these guys. Oh. Switch this here. So this is UNC. So we got to come through. Let's see. We're going to come like that. Then we drop them off. How we're going to get these guys? Okay. So we've got to pull these out from the nose end. That's going to be fun. Okay. Well, let's do it. Let's figure it out as we go along. Stand on the ground here so I can throw. I'm going to throw this switch up here. Right now this one is set for a lead. Going to be coming off this little guy right here. Then we're going to fly right over here. I'll pull these guys. I'll pull them out here, and then I will. Sounds like the whistle's blowing. Big whistle. What is this? Jeep 38, I believe. Or Jeep 40. Jeep 40. I got a Jeep 40 and I got two of them. EP40 TAC 2. Two of them. All right, let's get in the cab. Set up our things that we normally do. We are going to be going on the main line here in a second, so we do want to cab in here. So there's nobody coming right now. We're going to be coming off right in here, but we need to go 3615. So channel 36. We don't need to tone. We don't need to tone at all. There ain't nobody coming, and as soon as I throw that switch up there, we're gonna own the block. Since Otto is not a human, not gonna need to tell Otto nothing. However, all these cars don't know that, so they're waiting. Somehow the signals already came down. Lovely locals. All right, now we're going to throw this back the way that was, hopefully. And then we're going to... Wait, that was a control point. We ran it. No, we were inside of it. Because that was before we could even... I don't remember. We may have run it. I didn't see anything pop up that said we ran it. May have. I'll see it back on replay. Be like, oops. I was thinking we were within the block, so if it happened, then it happened. So we're going to stop and get... No, we're going to pull forward. We'll get these cars on the way out. We may just have to nose chuck these guys ahead of us. Well, now it says I ran an absolute because I'm going 16 and it passed the signal. I don't think that was delayed. Okay, so we're going to come get these. And then I want to do something kind of cool here. Do a Dutch drop. We're going to Dutch drop these guys. We're going to put them with those tankers. Let's see, how's my... Okay, so I have the train cheat set to just the airlines. The new model here. You can tell how clean the graphics are on it. Okay, so I got 3 cars. Connect the airlines here. 3 cars that we're going to Dutch drop. If I can even get it. You know what I mean? So, handbrakes are off. We're going to see if we can... We're going to see if we can do this here. Here we go. All right, we are rolling the right way. Dutch drop, here we go. Let me get around the corner here first before I do it. There's the Dutch drop, guys. Now we'll watch this, make sure that's not going too slow. Or too fast, I mean. Handbrake on there so that it will lightly touch or not at all, which is, it did not touch. Starting to roll a little bit, so we'll put a handbrake on here till we get over here and maintain control. Okay, we'll go straight here. And now we're going to come and pick all these guys up, get them out of here. Checking all the airlines, make sure I can't connect those yet because we're not. Okay, airline. But we do want to make sure that they're not dragging. I'm gonna do the same thing on the locomotive side. Connect. Handbrakes knocked down, and let's pull forward. So now we also have our buffers. If these had hazmat in them, don't know exactly what this is. Univar chemical. Oh, there's corrosives. Probably not a breathing hazard, but better safe than sorry. So we have buffers. Buffer cars. Hope everybody had a great weekend and a great week. We're in the 7th of September. September 7th today is a weekend filled of sports for me. We had Thursday, the Cowboys played. Friday was a NFL game. For the NFL opener opened on Thursday with the Cowboys losing to Philadelphia, in case you guys didn't already know that. I already knew that it was going to happen ahead of time. I mean, I still hope that the Cowboys would win, but, you know, they're playing the Super Bowl champ Eagles, and I knew that wasn't probably going to happen the way that I hoped it would. There was a game on YouTube on Friday. We had the UFC yesterday. We also did check rides yesterday. Or we were hanging around waiting for check rides. Nobody showed up here on the Mateo Community Run 8 train server. So none were performed. The next one will be in 2 weeks from yesterday. Looking at the calendar, and that looks like a September 27th. So if you are interested in playing in multiplayer and you know the basics of Run 8, come join us in running through a quick and easy skills check. As long as I put a video out on this channel. It's also in the new players section of the Discord. Make sure you follow the directions on how to provide an application to do the skills check, as well as everything you're answering. It's all part of the test. So if you just say I did this and then it comes time to do it and you didn't, well, you're going to fail because you didn't follow the basics, or at least you're going to make us mad because you said you did something you didn't do. It really just a matter of reading the exact instructions on what you have to do. I mean, there's no guessing. You follow word for word. You can't do it wrong. It's when you get lazy and don't that causes problems. And it's important because you're running trains here, and a lot of the jobs that we put out, that we spend hours and hours doing this stuff like I'm doing now, we'll put out information on how the job's supposed to be run, and then you don't want to read the directions. You just want to do it your way. That's not the way that it works. There's job orders for a reason. They tell you what to do, where to go, and so forth, and you just have to follow them. That's all there is to it. You don't have to choose jobs you don't want to do. That was a question that came up. If I don't want to do jobs, well, you don't have to. Don't do what you don't want to do. You just pick what you want to, but as long as you're picking a job to do, make sure you understand the directions before you do it. We're putting supply trains together and running them to yards where they're waiting for things, and you don't go and do what it says to do, then kind of putting everybody at a disadvantage. Especially like this, where we're doing yard work. We're pulling out of the lumber yards. That will clear the first 3 industries here. The Dutch drop got us oriented out of here correctly. Close that main. Before I get too far, I want to make sure that I did close this main here, which I believe I did, and I did. Back in our locomotive. So if I look at auto, I want this go here. Go ahead and give myself a restricting coming up because I'm not really doing much anyways. Can't ask auto because he won't route me where I want to go, most likely. I do know what I'm doing as far as where I need to go and not get onto that side, but that's fine. We will need to cross right where I selected, which is right over here. We're going to cross this and come into this siding here. This starts the third main, so if I throw that now, then I might have problems dealing with it after. Because this is the main line here. If I were to say, hey, I want to come onto this side here, may not work out well for me as I want it to. I'm all set there to pick up those cars, as well as get these cars once I get here. Maybe I will, let's see. He's going to be backwards on me once I pull them out. So they're going in the back of the train. We've got those empty lumber I-beams. Shouldn't be a problem. Take a look back here. We have the restricting. And once we start heading back, we'll be fine. We can stop and pick these guys up here too. So go into there. Get back in our train. Let's watch what we're doing here. We are technically speeding under restricting, but one I can... I don't know what happened there. The train disappear on me? Did I drop frames on that? No, I didn't drop any frames. So that was interesting. So I think that got captured in the stream here. Let me make sure I'm still on the server. Me and Pat are on the MTCS right now. So that was some sort of a network error, but because I don't have any dropped frames in my stream, and I see that it's been streaming the whole time, I don't have any dropped frames. I'm going to say that the server here glitched, kicked me out of the cab that I was in because all of a sudden the train disappeared on me, which that stuff does happen. So it's always good to get I did not do ahead of time. So let's stand out here. Let's do it now. So I'm going to capture everything within a 10-mile radius of where I'm at now. So I'll call this Mateo LMC because that way I know what server it is and what area it is. So now the train that I have, everything within 10 miles of me is saved in my saved directory on my machine. And if something were to happen where this train just disappears and it doesn't come back, or derails, something like that, and flips off the track, disappears, I now have a local copy of it, so I can restore it as a yard master. But if you were to do the same thing, if something were to happen, you can go into your single player game, spawn it, select it, and then you would be able to save it, and then that way that train save you can provide to us in Discord, and we can put it back in the server for you. That's always I find that important. You can't save the you can't save the train in the multiplayer yourself because you don't have access to the consist editor. I think if you just do save train without, if you select it, you should be able to save it, but I'm not sure that's, I don't remember if that works 100% of the time or not. If you just go load and save and train, you save the train that you have now. I don't know if that works. I have consist editor permissions right now, So I don't know, your mileage may vary, but on multiplayer, in this one specifically, we have a password for the consist editor. You have to be a Yardmaster to use it, so we don't want anybody spawning trains on the server, and that includes restoring ones that are accidentally deleted, like mine just did, but it reappeared. And that's in our rules, so it should be no surprise. And if you accidentally do it, restore your auto train, you are bypassing that feature, and therefore you will get will at least get a timed ban. We explain this to everybody in our check ride / skills check. I mean, is it a check ride? Kind of. I'll make sure you're not breaking stuff when you're in here and that you understand the rules. We don't go over them all. We, in our skills check, make sure that you have them open, read off 1 or 2 of them to us so that we know that you're looking at the right document. And then your responsibility to know the rules and know when they change, because it's advertised. We've had 2 rule changes in the last, I don't know, year and a half. We added 2 other things to the simple rules that we have. Don't be a jerk. Don't crash stuff. Make sure you're controlling your train. And that's really it, like the big ones. All the jobs. Don't leave stuff unattended on the main. The switch is open so that AI traffic can't pass. All the basic stuff of just run 8. Like, even if you're running it single player, you wouldn't want to do that stuff because it just stops traffic. And as I do these streams that show you how these locals work, I do put them in. We have in our Discord where we describe all the different jobs. This is one of the locals that is a listed job. It simply recycles. So you open the job, you look at the what it takes to do the job. And then it, I put this stream in there as an example of how I do it. You don't have to do it the same way as me. But you go get cars, you bring them back, sort cars, go drop them off. And then the job recycles, so we don't have to repost the same job order. You just do it all over again. Rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. But then the video's in there for those that are visual learners to see, like, this is one way to do it. And that's the only reason the 2 reasons I do these streams. One, to help those newer to some of these. And because you guys are here watching. So thank you for those of you that continue to watch these videos. Numbers have drifted off a little bit. I don't know if it's because, the content dries up a little bit. I mean, it's hard to be fun and continue to, it's not new. I don't like doing this road train, so that's, to me, is a lot more boring. This has at least more things going on, but I do the same thing on YouTube too. I watch people, and then you end up going down a different rabbit hole, moving on and watching somebody else come back a couple months later, and you're like, oh, what did I miss? Hello, it's the same thing again. But if you guys have any comments, feel free to drop them down below. I do monitor them every day. I do try to once or twice a week go in there and answer any questions that you may have. Gotta be standing on the ground here and multiplayer server in order to throw switches. Let's see if I can get everything off of, I should be able to get all these cars off the main. Gonna be too many. Because right here is where we are. We do have 3 main lines. So this, where I am, the rear of the cars here, this is a main line. So I need to get it off and then throw this switch so that I can drive back over it from the other direction after I get these other cars out. See where I'm at. And these are going to fit nicely, and then I'll have to exit the main over here, come back on the main. All right, close that here. Going to put a handbrake on this one and this one. Slack it a little bit here to get the pressure off the coupler. Now we're going right back here to get boxcars. Now we're going to reverse. I don't know what side of the fence is going on. It looks like here because of the switch that was thrown before. Oh, I see. Wait, is there? No, it's a window. Oh, looks like we got it. Because there are cars. There's a track over here. Oh, there is cars over there too, is there? No. No, not over here. So we'll get these pulled forward. And reconnect our train. And then we'll head back because we'll have, well, there's some San Diego cars too that are kind of blocking our thing. We may have to address those as well. We'll see when we get there. Nothing here ever happens quick. Seems more often than not you have to make a couple moves, do anything, so we'll deal with what we need to when we come across it. I have the bell going since I'm in the industry. Oh wait, somebody's walking over here. Somebody that's not paying attention. They don't walk out in front of us. Nice little kiss there. Connect these guys. Connect that because we don't want to be dragging it. Let's pull it out. Handbrake's coming off. We'll grab this side. We'll try to. There we go. I had the old SP boxcar. Remember these ones as a kid. Now these cars will be on the very rear of the train and we'll be going the opposite way, so the loaded cars will actually be in the back of this small little local. That's going to be fine because we're on the flat here. We're not climbing any mountains, any hills, nothing like that, so it won't be a huge deal. If we were climbing the Mighty Cajon or something like that, we'd want the cars be distributed properly so that we don't derail, but running it down a couple miles isn't really going to do much negative. Let's pull past the switch up here and then reverse. Get the tankers behind us, put them on the rear of the train, and then we'll make our way around. All right, so we're going back to get those guys there. Try that on your other simulator. How that works out for you. So I make sure I don't do the splits. It'd be embarrassing. Well, as we go back, remember I talked about where I ran that switch, or that it was an absolute signal, but it was a switch. If I ran it, it doesn't really matter, it's already too late. But I have one here as well. I need to stay on these sides, this side of the track where I am now, so I can get the next industry behind us. Okay, do a little stretch, pull off the handbrakes. Make sure there's no San Diego cars in here if possible. They're not labeled, so who knows what they are. It'll be liquid plastic. Like propane though, or something. We got plenty of room down this spur as well. Connect these and then come around the main. Go up here, we'll buckle it up. All right, so all the airlines are on. Put one handbrake here just to keep them secure. We'll go up here to this switch. Check the main. check in with dispatch before we enter the main. You know, like you do with the runway at an airport. Run faster than the locomotive here. All right, let's look here. Currently have nothing. I am going to switch these over though. Got nothing, so I'm going to go ahead and as the crossing. Now we're on our way back to this other switch to drag these cars a little further down the line. We only have one more stop to do down here. We look on the map. We just picked up DMF and BPC, as well as this WTS, UNC, HLC. So all we have left is TIP. We'll go down and cross over here back into the yard. As soon as I connect here, I'm going to reverse the orientation of the tower here. Connect the airlines here. We are not running air through. Neutral here, reset the orientation. That would have put air in. Let me close this and then bleed all the cars out. So let's go forward here. We'll see if we can get a restricting, which I have a feeling we can. Something happened here. I wanted this locomotive. Oh, set as the default. I missed that. All right, we have our restricting up there, you can see. I do have a distance counter. I want to wait till I get after this signal before I throw that other switch that I want to go into. Distance counter says 720 feet until I need to throw the switch behind me. Lock it back for mainline operation. At this point, I can run up here and open this switch. That looks good all the way through there. We'll get ready to drop this one. Lock it back. It's a done deal there. Coming up on a crossing right before the switch. Let's see, we've got 3 cars here to pick. I mean, we could, yeah, we can grab them all. Let's throw our exit switch here. I didn't know how much room I had. I have plenty. I was going to disconnect and back up and grab those, but by blocking the intersection, but I don't need to do that. Use everything that we have to do that. All right, we're back. Deck F3. That's the one that we are working with now, ahead of us. I just realized that these, I've got 2 full ones back here, ones that have loads on them. So I want to get these off here. I don't need much. They could have all been opened again. Here we go. So let's go. I've seen me do this in the past. Close. That's still closed. I don't know why it reopened. It like reopened when I had pushed these. It won't let me bleed them because they're not currently attached. Let's see. So now they're bled. Well, let me bump these out. Let me bump these back so I can. I don't need them to go very far. Just enough to be out of the way. On the ground. So the reason I'm doing this is so I can keep the cars that are full on one side or the other, so that when I also thought I had already set the switch before I started reversing. The reason that I pulled these guys off versus everything else is empty. And by setting these over here, I'm going to pick up empties and I'll have the loads on just one side. So that as I'm building an outbound train, it'll be much easier to sort them full versus empty, or loaded versus empty. They don't have to be full, but loaded. For weight distribution, as it's going to Barstow, it's going to climb hills up and down, and you don't want the cars, bouncing around and banging around and all that. So I mean, if AI is driving it, it's not that big of a deal. If humans are driving it, a little more challenging. More so going downhill, though. They will derail on you if you got the loads all over the place when you're going downhill. Or like if you're going through Tehachapi, where it's curvy and either going up or down. All right, handbrake's coming off, and let's pull forward. Try the last one here out. I do still have that mainline switch open. If we look here, see it's in pink. And that's because I'm going to be exiting it here in a moment. We have all outbound cars empty and not for San Diego. That's perfect. We head back to La Mirada. We got to figure out what we're going to do with the cars that are already in the outbound yard. We might just take them over to, we might pick up the ones that are there and drag them over, both San Diego and the other ones, take them over to the, what is it, baseball? Baseball? What's it called? Base something. Let me fly over here and make sure I did close that one. I did, so that's good. That's good. Everything is lined and locked for mainline operation, except for this one here, which we'll deal with when we get back there in a second. So this is my last stop of this portion of the local. I'm going on the main line. I don't know how far I'm going on the main line for. That was weird. That took a while for it to spawn. Welcome back from your Baltic cruise, Katie. Nice to see you as well. I saw your message. You're taking a break. Congrats. You should have one. Especially running Barstow. All right, so I'm actually attempting to air this thing up because we're going on the main. So that's why I have the end of train device on. And I also got all the airlines running. That one's on partial right now because of the CFM. All right, all the parking brakes are off. EOTD is showing at 77 pounds on the rear end. Oh, no, no, take your time. Take your time. Like I said, you don't want to burn out. That's why I only do this once a week. I couldn't do it every day. FM's at 82 with 78 pounds on the rear. So I can open this. Now. I'm below. I like to bring it below 80. Some would say as long as it's below 90, but it jumps up. So I do below 80. See how it jumped up? I got 84 on the rear, so I'm going to go ahead and start pulling forward because that means the car's pretty much, the brakes are off. It's not at 90 pounds, but we're at 80 through the whole train. And the rear's got 84, so we have enough pressure to have the brakes off. Put my headlights bright. Check out auto, which you see this other guy, his UP train is coal train is coming this way, but he's switching over. So we're gonna have to wait for him at this next signal anyways. No matter what we wanted to do. Slow down because I'm gonna go flying on off this spur too fast. We're full air now, so we can use air if we wanted to. Go ahead and start a countdown timer. 1,100 feet. So Big Sigh, yeah, you have to man a table Oktoberfest. I mean, it sounds horrible. Sit around in your whatever the German kilt thing is. I can't remember the name of it. The skirt, the Farfignugan that you wear, and drink beer. Although, you know, you drink warm beer, right? If you're doing an Oktoberfest, I don't know. I don't like Guinness warm. I like cold. I know that's Irish, but that's what I drank is Guinness. When I drank. Lederhosen, that's right. Lederhosen. Man, when I was in the Navy, I was so excited getting out that I was going to travel the world, you know, more than I already had. In the Navy, I traveled the Pacific as a Pacific submariner. I traveled all the Asian nations of the Pacific, you know, it was great. I was going to get out and I was going to travel Europe, and the only place that I went was Sicily, which was amazing. I spent 2 weeks in Sicily. Loved every minute of it. But I'd never been back to Europe since. For work, this is the only place I ever got to go. I started traveling then again back to Asia. Different Asian countries. So I don't know, I might be all traveled out now because I've done so much of it. Use my thumb and I hit the train brake there, so we're going downhill. Let me put some. Can't go above 30. I have a red in front of me. Yeah, I wanted to, you know, do the France and Spain. Wink, wink. I hear Spain's really nice. Italy and Sicily were the only places I've been so far, and I mean, they were outstanding places to go. Wasn't in Italy, just, you know, the airport pretty much, but 2 weeks in Sicily. Thank you, sir. So I'm not going to be able to proceed past this switch right now because the oncoming train, that UP train, is hogging my track. I'm just looking up here. I'm like, wait a minute, do I have pickups right here to the left? But I don't. Right after the switch. Start bringers a lot slower because we're going to run this signal if we don't. We're not very heavy though. We're 767 tons. Look at our HPT 7.8. And we're a local carrying empties, so that's why. We get a little closer to signal before we slam the brakes down though. Now we'll wait over here for Domino's to arrive. We fly over here towards the yard. We need that switch there. As I come in, I'll need to throw that switch. I'm going to go straight. I might as well turn this one now. I can just go up the lead. That one's going to be good for me. We're going to go through here. That one's also going to put me on the outside lead here, which is great. That's going to put me back here. And then I'm going to continue through the lead over this way. I will have to throw the mainline switch ahead of me. And then back in to get these cars here. I'm going to put the San Diego cars in the very, very back. Where these... Yeah, see, somebody put these here with two loads in the middle. Now, that doesn't help. And there's a load there. That does not help. So if you're doing La Mirada, please make sure that the loads are up here where they belong. As of right now, that's no help. I literally, if I want to do it right, I need to spend time adjusting that. And we don't have that kind of time. Here's our incoming. See, the San Diego cars have ballpark siding is what it's called. San Diego cars are here. I will not be able to pull into here because I won't be able to get over to this switch. But I might be able to back it. So this is the outbounds. I've got an idea. I do got some ideas. Now, there's no way for me to get over to that track right now. So I'm going to have to be creative here. And creative I will be. So we're lined all the way up through. All we got to do is wait for this UP dude to... Let's ride him while we are headed back to us. No reason to walk all that distance, right? I hold F11 and I push on this window until it gets close. What up? You can see what's going on here. We got Austin and Albert. We'll watch what they do here. He's running around in the limit too. I like it. He's maintaining his speed here. 48. Can't go more than 50. I don't know if these actually work. Seem like they do. And yeah, no, he's got too many greens to show that if this worked. He has got too many greens right now. Barreling down on us, the coal train. If you wait in our cab, you can barely see him there. He's going to cross over right here to our right. Or he already has. Is he? Crossed over already. I don't know why we can't go then. Oh, maybe because we haven't asked? Oh no, it's we have to go right where he's at. That's why. Got where we were going. We're going to take the cars out of La Mirada with us. So we got to go through there, pick them up, and then the other way where we just were. And I mean, that's going to take another, 45 minutes. Crazy. I'll zoom in just a little bit. I know it's daytime. I wonder if they're going to dim their lights. Probably not. Some servers it still does it on. I don't know why it does or doesn't do it. Yeah, he didn't dim his lights. Do a little stretch out here. So he is now passed. Now we're waiting for the signal to come back up so that we can set restricting them for us. Here we go. Yep, I know. There we go. Signal indication. NSF 3024. Headlights bright. And now that we're in the block, I can set this switch here. Yeah, see, there was no, I never ran the signal because it wasn't here. The signal is right here because of the crossing. So when I said earlier, maybe I ran the signal, I did not because I was coming out of the yard here. So big sweat relief there. Whoo! We're going to go right through the yard right here. Yeah, try to keep the power on. Now we just wait here till and close this switch. Run all the way to the east yard. Basically, I'm entering the west yard right now, and then the central yard is where all the cars that need to be distributed throughout the locals are. Okay, let's get back in the locomotive and let's do our thing. Cooled down. It's just shy of 103 right now. A radio station, 102.7. Kiss FM in LA. So yeah, that's a little tricky. We have to go all the way to the end, to the east yard, pick up those cars. We've got to bring them back this way so that we can get on the right track in order to drop these off at the, it used to be the old Bear Table storage where the San Diego cars are. And then further down is the ballpark siding that we can get to, but where the locomotive is, it won't be a smooth operation. long road. Well, dynamic brakes as we start headed down here. If we maintain a good speed. They apply the resistance. You hear all the cars behind smash into us. I'm hoping to go left. I think there might be not. I don't think there's cars all the way right, but we want to go on the outside here. This is the lead for the whole yard, so. And these cars right here on my left, on my right side, I'm passing them right now. These are going. These DMFs are going right where we just came from. Del Monte Foods. They're going to get loaded up. Which is the ones that are, I think the ones that are full in the very back. So here we get a little bit of both of the worlds. We're getting switching and road training. For those that like both, hit the jackpot. Just doing whatever needs to get done within the time limits that we have to do it. My intention is to stay on the outside lead here. Drop these cars, and then we'll stack them and rack them. Get ready to go take them where they need to go. My plan had changed, so go by a new plan. Can't do anything about these cars that are here in the middle that I didn't put there. I mean, I can, but I'm not going to. But I will address the ones that I have. Let's go to the very back. Let's take off the EOTD. I'll just mess with this. Close both of these because we are going to be taking these on the main. So we are going to have air in them. Let's get the pressure off. Make sure all of our switches are aligned. Set this for if supply train were to come in. Goes right down where we're at now. Downhill a little bit so you hear the dynamics. And I got to get these cars that are loaded off the rear. They're going to go on the back of the cars. We could do it a couple different ways, but yeah, they're basically going to be going up against cars that are empty. But at least I could fix it if I wanted it to. Easy. I had them here. Remember, these things do have air in them. Closed and closed. You're gonna grab all these San Diego cars and pull them closer this way because they're separated. If you're not sure what I'm doing yet, it's going to become apparent here pretty quick. I think. I'm not worried about San Diego cars either being load, mismatched, because it's really, they go along the coast for the most part. Down into San Diego, there's not a bunch of hill climbing. All right, here we go. We're going to start putting together a train here. See what we got. We got 1,000 feet right now. HPT is 10.7, which is great because we don't have a lot of loads in here. 15 empties. These are the cars that we brought down with these 2 engines, minus the 2 ones that have loads in them. We're going to grab this next, 2 next cuts. Ride the beam back. All right, now let's take a look. So now we're at 2.8. Now we got 2176 tons. Got 3 loaded, 48 empties. And then when we get the San Diego cars on here, plus the 2 loaded St. Louis ones, we're doing some real tonnage. It is right now 3170 on the footage. Could fit fine in the ballpark sighting. If not, we got a couple tracks. Still got more to go. I do like these new oil tanker cars. They're very good looking. Very good looking. They do have custom paints on them too, I believe, as well. Just the models are nice. Brings up the end of the cars here. After we connect these, we're going to pull back on the main. Hopefully we don't get blocked by an incoming train. Okay. Then we're going to attach EO key and open it up so it makes noise. All I want to do is set the switch to the end here. Oh, back to the lead. And then we're going to shove these down the tracks and send them home. Overall train now is 229.62 on the tonnage. HPTs is 2.0. The minimum requirement for the sub, or to go up to Cajon sub. In fact, the train length is 4024, but we are going to cut the San Diego stuff off. That'll, you know, bring it down a couple hundred. I just got to make sure we're all lined up to get out. Looks like we are. Check. Nobody's coming here, so okay. So it's us coming out. I'm going to set this. We don't need any of that. We are going to go straight after we come out through. And then basically we're coming out right here. So we don't need to worry about this light. We're coming out like right here. Lights after. That's the light right there. So we're already past it. Can't do anything about that. Restricting anything won't work, so that is correct. That any trains coming down here should stop here, or we come out, and then we'll get a signal right on this one to go forward to Basta, and then right here before the Amtrak station is the ballpark siding. And this guy's coming down. He's not even at Esperanza. He's not even at Porphyry yet. Porphyry's right here. So he's a long ways away. If I hadn't have set this now, then Otto would have screwed us, I'm sure, later on it. Currently this one is set to go down to San Diego. Doing yard speed right now. Get in here and I've already set the switches, so we can start this process here. Currently in the trailing engine based on my orientation. Lights are already on. I just activated the bell, which will be the engine behind. slow down a little bit here. So I get on this track, I'm going to do a countdown timer, distance counter. I'm going to start it right between these switches. Right here, we can just wait. Put me on that side. So this is where we'll stop the train and go the opposite way. There's 200 feet to go. See what kind they are right now until we get to bare table storage, the old bare table storage. And then we got to kick off. We got to get rid of the San Diego cars, and then everything else is going to ballpark. Thing's almost a mile long. Like 5,200 feet's a mile long. It's 3,500, something like that. So 3/4 of a mile. Going by at 15 miles an hour isn't very fast. Jeeps, they don't have the ability to do DPUs, they only have the ability to do MUs. I can't even put one on the end if I wanted to. You don't really need it. I mean, we're not going that far. We are traversing the main line, but we're going in reverse. So it split switches here. It thinks the train is still on the track here, so We go into forward. Check that the track is good. It is. Set it back. We don't need to mess with the signal because we didn't pass that. We're in the block. Since we're in the block, we don't have to get any signals. We will have to at wherever the next one is. Can't even hear the whistle, so we're just waving our hands in the air. We just don't care. See where we're going. So we're going back here. Going right down here where we just kind of came from. There is a signal up here. The intermediate there. And so we can literally set this now. You don't have to worry about, because that intermediate signal is not going to affect us. I'm too far away from the train. I feel like it's that far away, but I am. That's the mileage that that's where we're going. Ran absolute. So that's the one that I just opened. It's in the, it's in our block. Some of these are 12 or so, 12 cars. 8 to 12 cars are going to get dropped off, and the rest are going down about 2 miles away from there. Thing about live, you can't cut to the next scene, you just wait. I don't know if you can see the texture of the crossings, the reflective tape on the crossing, but it looks legit. Really good. Cool if this light came on solid and these flash. It doesn't. No, they're just reflectors on this guy. so we've already set the switch that we need. There's a crossing and then a station that we go through going in reverse. So the next one is up here. So that's not a crossing, that's a bridge. Bridge. Another bridge. And then a station. So yeah. So we'll put those cars right here in the back. That's perfect. Which is set. I wonder if the F11, I don't think it works F11 here. No. Well, on these you have to hit E to get on them. The F11 puts you in the cab. We're slowing down a little bit, but we're not too far away. I don't want to come in hot off that switch and smush everything. Don't need to smush it. Go. Yeah, right after the intermediate, we got the signal to pass, and then drop off San Diego. Hopefully to do the same thing over at Ballpark. Slow down maybe too much. Dog was licking my face. Trying to lick me in my face. We didn't pass the station yet, did we? I don't think so. Coming up. See it now. There's the station. Trying to get my mouse over. back in here and send those down here. We can slow her down a bit though. Gotta take the OTD off. I can't get that. There we go. We gotta push them back just a little bit more. Another about 2 cars, I'd say. I think all these are going to fit on here. Yeah, there's the last one there. Get that one there. There we go. San Diego car's off. The rest are headed over to ballpark. So I'll run these down to ballpark. While I'll do that, thank you so much for watching. I'll let you tag along here for a minute. I'm done. I'll be done talking here. Next week, we'll be back at the same time. Cowboys are playing early in the morning on Sundays, so be back here at 3 unless something else comes up. And no biggie. If you want to come watch something different on Wednesdays on Twitch, 5 p.m. Pacific Coast, you can find me over there at twitch.tv/KungfuBeer. And that will do it for me talking on Simulator Sunday. I'll let you hang around for a little bit, and then I will say my bye-byes with the screen here. So, that talk for now. I hope you all have a great week and enjoy me back next Sunday. Some more Simulator Sunday. We shall see you all then.